I always feel small. Mentally, I know we're in a really bad place.
As he was running back, he just collapsed on the floor. It must have been a massive heart attack.
To me, it's what a man should look like, you know, muscular, big, powerful, strong.
Around 9 million people have gym memberships in the UK. Many might never step foot inside, but for others, it's a second home. At first look, some of these guys seem like giants, their bodies chiselled out of stone. But although they may seem fit and healthy, around 1 in 10 are thought to be living with a condition that can destroy their lives. It's a kind of reverse anorexia, an obsession with getting bigger. That's where the name Bigorexia comes from. Its official title, though, is muscle dysmorphia.
So muscle dysmorphia is a preoccupation with the idea that one isn't big enough, isn't muscular enough, and that's causing them great levels of anxiety, profound depression, and that the depression becomes so severe that that could lead them to take their own lives.
I mean, already I'm very curious as to why my waist is thicker than usual. Upper chest needs work. Why is my waist so thick? My arms just aren't big enough in comparison to my chest and my back.
Pradeep is 25. He lives alone in a flat in East London and identifies with having bigorexia.
The thing is, I could critique myself all day in this mirror, and the thing is, I haven't even turned to the back.
Do you ever feel too small?
Of course. I always feel small. Already I feel I'm spending too much time from the mirror. In the morning I would look at it, I would just leave. Now the more I look at it, the more I'm disliking the way I'm not. How can anyone love or enjoy what is here? It boggles my mind because I myself don't like what I'm seeing because I've just critiqued it so much. I've taken a visual red marker and analyzed every single part. It's more than neurotic. It's a detriment to my mental state, and so how can anyone else like this if I don't like it?
Do you ever feel disgusted by the way you look?
There are days I feel disgusted, and those days happen when I have not been consistent with the work that is required of me to reach a goal. That's when I feel disgusted by myself, and I tell myself, what are you doing? Why aren't you eating your meals? Why aren't you sleeping on time? Why are you only sleeping for 2.5, 3 hours a day? Why can't you just do the work like a machine?
Looking at Pradeep, it's hard to see what he's seeing. His biceps are 3 times the size of mine. To try and understand how his mind works a little better, we gave him a camera to film himself for the day.
Right. And so it's 5:30. Well, I need to get some meals in there. Right, so this morning we're back to 4% minced beef. But what's more important right now is that I find a shirt that hasn't shrunk for me to wear for work. That is today's goal.
As comical as you might find it, I have another bodybuilder on my computer eating his own food. One camel of Rhone. And I guess it's just company. Now, before I pass out on this lovely couch, I better get a move on. Whew. Excuse me, that was very rude. Yeah, I need 2 more meals on me before I sleep, so y'all have a good night.
There'll be different machines for different body parts. All your back section will be out there for working your back. Yeah.
Mo owns a gym in West Yorkshire. The guys here are absolutely massive. He's convinced many of his regulars have muscle dysmorphia, and some are prepared to go that little bit further to get bigger. How many people who train here do you think use steroids in your gym?
Easily 70%. I think it's a growing thing. I think we've got to be honest about it and open about it, because it's only going to lead to better us helping people more, really. When you get kids as young as 15 coming in, or maybe even younger, I've had them, asking to buy steroids, then the alarm bells go, you think, this is not right.
Steroids boost muscle growth, and not everyone who uses them has muscle dysmorphia, but the two can go hand in hand. Although steroids can cause baldness, shrunken testicles, and high blood pressure, for some they're a quick and easy way to get ripped.
Oliver loved the living room. This was his domain. This is where, you know, he sat and relaxed and, yeah, watched his television.
Which one was his spot?
This one. You'd sit down in it. I mean, you sit down in it now and there's a constant ding because of his big stature.
Sarah believes her son Ollie had bigorexia, and it ended up taking over his life.
It was his height. It was always his height. He'd always say, oh no, I'm not going to get a girlfriend. Look at size of me. I'd say, well, there's nothing wrong with you. You're beautiful. You're gorgeous. He wanted the width. But it wasn't to prove it to anybody else. It was to prove it more so to himself, really, that he could be this person if he wanted to be.
In a bid to get bigger, Ollie started taking steroids. Then when he was 18, he had a heart attack. But within a month of coming out of hospital, Ollie was back in the gym, determined to get bigger.
There was just no getting through to Ollie at all, just no getting through to him about what he was doing to his body, nothing. It was like a drug.
Yeah.
It was like, I need to go, I need to go, I need this look, I need to look like I've got this image in my head, I need to look big.
Then, aged 20, Ollie had another heart attack. This time, it was fatal.
I still miss him now, still talk about it. There's not a day that goes by where we don't mention Ollie's name, you know, and it'll probably be something funny, yeah, because they were hilarious.
How about you? What effect has it had on you personally?
I get along. Sorry.
Ollie's mum told me there's too much pressure on guys to try and look a certain way.
There are all these media pressures around now, and one of our theories is that it might actually be that women maybe have actually adjusted a little bit and become better prepared than men to deal with all these images and these pressures, and that men are probably going to have to catch up a bit in terms of coping with the pressure to look a certain way.
Sam's 21. He says he had bigorexia when he was younger, but got through it. Right now, he's in training for the regional heats of the UK Bodybuilding Championships.
Lovely diet food. I mean, that's my back pose. Like, you know, my waist is looking good there.
The waist is absolutely tiny.
Thanks.
How big's the waist?
About 26 inches.
26 inches?
Yeah. I'm about 15-ish, 14-ish and a half stone at the minute.
What is it about being big which appeals to you so much?
I just think it looks awesome, to be honest. To me, it's what a man should look like, you know, muscular, big, powerful, strong. Men aren't meant to look like women. I mean, this is a picture of me when I was younger as well.
How old are you in that pic?
I'm about 10, 11 in that picture. I was about 13 stone. I mean, only, what, a stone and a half lighter now? And yeah, that was when I, you know, got teased. Well, not really teased then. It was more when I went to senior school. But yeah, I don't really get teased much now. just for having dodgy hair.
So this is your old school, Sam?
Yeah, it's the old stomping grounds. Secondary school.
Did you ever get picked on for being overweight?
Yeah, I did. I mean, especially from the ages of probably 12 to 15, 12 to 14, yeah. They just call me stuff like that. Shamu as well, that was my nickname, after, you know, the killer whale at SeaWorld. I mean, it did affect me quite a lot. But looking back at the change I've made, I feel really proud, you know. And to this day, a lot of those people who called me fat back then are now paying me for diet plans, you know, and asking me for diet plans. So, who's won, you know?
Why do some men develop muscle dysmorphia and others don't is a bit of a $6 million question, but there are seem to be some themes, such as people being bullied or teased earlier in their lives. It might be that if you've got a family member who's got another psychiatric condition, maybe OCD or depression, that might be a vulnerability factor. And of course, there are all these media pressures around now. There's much more pressure on men to have a six-pack and to be muscled.
Why do you think the condition's not taken perhaps as seriously as it should be?
I think it's difficult because it's so similar than a sort of vanity, and it's much more like an obsession. So the average gym goer will maybe go 3 or 4 times a week, spend a couple of hours in the gym, think about it a little bit during the rest of the day, whether that's that. Some with BDD might go to the gym twice a day and spend almost all of the week thinking about their appearance.
Other symptoms of bigorexia include putting the gym before your friends and family, training while injured, and feeling panicked if you miss a session.
Could you take a picture of my back? This might be a little bit crazy, but I can't see my back.
Okay. Cool. What do you think about that? Not where you want it to be.
Not where I want it to be, no. Work in progress, but we'll get there. We'll get there at some point.
Do you think there's a reason for your muscle dysmorphia?
What's really interesting is that we stems a lot from being a young child. My parents always endorsed giving 100% in whatever you do. So from a young age, we studied really hard. You give 110%, an A was enough, it should be an A++. So in whatever endeavor I do, I always give more than is acceptable by anyone else.
Pradeep looks in great shape. He's not taking steroids, instead he eats well and works out. He says he's managing his bigorexia a lot better now, but you have to wonder if he'll ever be truly happy and what effect growing old will have on his ability to sculpt the perfect body. For now, he admits he still hasn't completely beat the condition.
Do you think you'll always have muscle dysmorphia? It's something you just have to learn to live with.
Let me answer that question for you very nicely. Bring the camera, look at that mirror. Look at that mirror, okay? This is the right side of my body. That shoulder, bit of striation, but already, let me break this down for you. My bicep head, top of my bicep isn't a large enough peak here. It's quite flat, it needs to be a lot rounder. My triceps are too small for my shoulder, which makes them look they're not in proportion. It's unsymmetric. I need to work on my forearms, legs, my back. So already, when you ask me, do I live with it? Yes. But will I continually critique myself? I'll never stop.
You'll never be happy with how you look?
I'll be happy to a certain degree, but not completely. I'll still say I've only hit 90% of my potential. I want the other 10%.
You'll always have muscle dysmorphia?
To some degree, I definitely will. It won't ever completely go away. Nah.